Today I watched Bright. Now, Bright is a movie. No way. But Bright is a movie where Will Smith lives in a world where orcs and elves and pixies and magic are all real. And the movie's pretty good. Like, I'd give it a 6, 7 out of 10. But the setting itself is very interesting. And I think that the fact that we don't get a full series with Will Smith and this orc dude just going around and solving crimes in a world that has magic and all that stuff. My fucking mustache is tickling my nose. I swear I'm not on cocaine. But the fact that we didn't get a series of that is honestly very fucking stupid. But because we don't get a series like that, what I am going to do is I am going to sit here and I am going to write up with you all a little bit of a setting where it's D&D, but it's modern day. And it's just going to be a little bit of a world-building exercise, just something that I usually do in my head, but today we are going to sit here and we are going to do it together. I'm going to be writing on this Word file, and then I might either throw this out or I might keep it, but we shall see. But because we are doing that, I feel like maybe I should switch to Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, let's switch to the Dungeons and Dragons thing. Who else is on the Dungeons and Dragons thing? Let me see. Who else is playing Dungeons and Dragons? We got a whole heap of people playing actual campaigns. 2 of which are in the same campaign. Actually, 4 of which. Yeah, a bunch of people are just in the same campaign. We are going to actually be doing some world building, and I understand that this is boring for some people, but I find this quite interesting, and yeah, I do want to make more content about this stuff, so we are going to just go over this, and we're going to start. So, in the setting of Bright, we have orcs, humans, elves. There's a mention of dwarves, and we also know about fairies. There's also magic and dragons, because we do see a dragon in the background. Now, I think that having dragons as just a commonplace creature is boring. Like, the most boring of things. So what we're going to do is dragons are going to be immortal creatures. All of them are ancient. All of them are incredibly wise and knowledgeable. And they're either city-busting forces of destruction or world-dominating entities. So the dragons in this setting are either going to be Illuminati-esque masters of the world, or they're going to be rabid monsters that have been hibernating for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and then they suddenly wake up and somebody built a city over their cave, and then they just come out and they fucking ruin everything. And now they have to be put down. That's how we're handling dragons. Because that way, dragons are fucking dragons. Like, this is the type of shit that people want to deal with when you tell them that there are dragons in your setting. There you go. We got dragons in the setting. Now, because we've got orcs, humans, elves, and dwarves, I feel like we can call these the playable races. And shit, fuck it. Let's include fairies as well, and I think we can include gnomes and halflings, and all of that. Let's actually take a look at what the available races are in current edition D&D. Just to have the basics, right? So, we've got, Dragonborn in current edition D&D aren't really Dragonborn anymore. They've pretty much been turned into half-dragons. Yeah. Although, to be fair, with the existence of half-dragon subclasses for some of the classes, like Monk and Sorcerer, I do think we should have a half-dragon Barbarian, but who knows, maybe we'll work on that at a different date. It feels a little dumb to have the Dragonborn race. So, we're gonna have orcs, we're gonna have humans, elves, dwarves, gnomes, halflings. We've got Goliaths here, but these Goliaths are basically half-giants, so I'm not calling them Goliaths, because that's not what a Goliath is. We're going to call it a half-giant. And then we either have Goliath or Furbolgs, because Furbolgs are also half-giants. We got both of them, they're both half-giants, it's like different races. And here we have High Elves, Dark Elves, which are just evil elves, not necessarily dark-skinned in this setting. I feel like it's better to just have the terminology of dark elf refer to them being evil. And wood elves. I feel like in a setting of magic there would still be a necessity for such a place as a wooded area. Dwarves, we've got mountain dwarves, and we've got hill dwarves. Hill dwarves are much more rural, whereas mountain dwarves are much more urban. They're much more used to cities and the like. We should actually organize this by alphabetical order. So let me do as such. O goes after H. Elves, dwarves. There you go. N. So we got dwarves, we've got elves, we've got gnomes, and there are numerous different types of gnomes. You've got deep gnomes, you've got forest gnomes, and I think there's another type of gnome. Isn't there? I'm not tripping, am I? Rock gnomes. The fuck is a rock gnome? Ah, these are the tinkering gnomes, right? Or am I crazy? Forest gnome. Ah, fuck! I got the hiccups. I got the hiccupies. Fuck. Rock gnome, natural inventiveness and hardiness. We're gonna call these guys city gnomes. We're gonna call them city gnomes instead of rock gnomes. I feel like that. I feel like that's a little nicer. Now, what else is missing? We do have halflings. We have humans. We've got orcs. Dwarves, elves, gnomes, halflings are here. They are a different race than gnomes. For humans, I'm going to include Aasimar and tieflings here, rather than as their own thing, because an Aasimar and a tiefling is not its own race, it is something that gets added onto another race, and usually that other race is human, because not everybody is that creative. And so people just don't be thinking about that stuff. So, these are our player races. And let's think about how each of these races would behave in the modern world. Well, we've got the hill dwarves, rural dwarves that live in their own villages, usually in the plains or hills. They keep to themselves and they are known for their great manufacturing of foodstuffs and alcoholic beverages. These are the drunk gnomes, dwarves. These are the drunk dwarves. Actually, they like visitors. These dwarves like visitors. These are the dwarves that prefer to stay on their own and prefer to only receive people who are either going to participate in their craftsmanship or participate in, just provide them with something of use. We also have the Duergar, actually. Should we have evil dwarves? No, I always find that the Duergar are not that interesting of a race compared to others. You know what? Screw it. Screw it! We're getting dark dwarves. Yeah. Dark dwarves. Evil dwarves that dwell within the bowels of the earth. Recognizable by their darkened skin, the color of coals. Coals, alright? This isn't like dark skin like humans have. This is like actual, like they have the color of coals. And burning eyes. Yes. Worship volcanoes and the destructive capacity of fire and magma. I think we're gonna do this. Yes, taking inspiration from World of Warcraft. Because I just find that the setting of Warcraft is a very good setting. Now, let me actually look at the hill and mountain dwarves of D&D, because it's important to take inspiration from things that have already been proven successful when you are creating your own setting, because you want to take the good things and add them to your own setting to make it even better. So, let me see here. God's Golden Clan. Okay. So, mountain dwarves. Taller than their cousins. These dwarves live in vast cities on the mountains. And they are known for their peerless craftsmanship. Prefer to live in isolation from the other races, not out of a sense of xenophobia, but just because this way they can focus on their work better. Better focus on their own work. Alright, we've done the dwarves of our setting. I think we've got some nice dwarves here. What do you guys think? I think this is pretty good. Now, we've got the High Elves, the Wood Elves, and the Dark Elves. So, let's start with the Dark Elves. Evil elves that wish to ravage the world and bring destruction to their cousins, to their fairer cousins. Worship demons and devils for the powers they grant. Then we've got High Elves, stewards of the world and rulers of its major cities. Most civilized countries hold elves as the large part of their ruling class. I feel like this is something that we can take from Bright, as we see in Bright that elves basically constitute the vast majority of the rich people, and it's very much implied. It's not shown, but it's very much implied that the vast majority of the people in charge are elves. What is this? Alright. And now we've got wood elves. Elves that prefer to live outside of the vast metropolises created by their cousins. Preferring instead to focus on the development of magic and its exploration. Yes, that's nice. Now, we still got the gnomes. City, deep, and forest gnomes. Deep gnomes are not necessarily evil, they just live underground. So, city gnomes. Gnomes that dwell in the many cities of the modern day are known for their inventiveness, creativity, and knack for engineering. All tech industry is ruled over by these little geniuses. Gnomes that prefer to dwell underground. Deep gnomes are famous for their mining industry, for their major role in the mining industry, and their capacity to explore, to discover new ways to mine the earth in sustainable yet profitable ways. I feel like if we're going to add magic to the real world, we should make it a little bit nicer, you know? Yeah. Forest gnomes. Gnomes that dwell far from the cities. Give themselves to trickery and magic for the purpose, and magic, especially illusion, in order to entertain themselves, usually at the expense of travelers. Now, we've got halflings, short humanoids, known. What are we doing? I am writing up a modern D&D setting because I was inspired by watching Bright. I really enjoyed it, and so that is what we are doing. I'm just taking some time here, sitting and just chatting with all of the folks, and we're doing a little bit of world building for D&D. This is a modern take on D&D, basically. Like D&D in the modern day. That makes sense. Short humanoids known for their hairy feet. Not lazy. I don't think halflings are necessarily lazy. They're laid back. Laid back attitude and capacity to enjoy themselves no matter what. Now, we've got the Goliaths and we've got the Furbolgs. So, let's actually take a look at Goliaths and Furbolgs. Now, we've got the Goliaths, which are basically just ashen-skinned and very, very strong. And we've also got Furbolgs, which are not so ashen-skinned. They're, in fact, quite furry. Okay, yeah. Alright. Ashen-skinned giants, capable of great feats of strength. Recognizable by their complete lack of hair. They're not fucking cow people. Yes, Furbolgs are giants. Yeah, correct. And then Furbolgs. Furry giant. Hairy giants. Capable of... known for their peaceable demeanor that belies great physical strength. Actually, I'm gonna add that Goliaths in this setting, as well as in D&D, are very given to sports, especially team sports. Their complete lack of hair and enjoyment of sports, especially team sports. Hair giants known for their peaceable demeanor that belies great physical strength. I don't think we're gonna include much else for Furbolgs because they are overall a mysterious race that nobody knows that much about. They are very cloistered. Prefer to live in isolation. Yeah, they prefer to live in prefer to live away from the cities. Yes, that's nicer. Now, we've got Aasimar and we've got Tieflings. Humanoids, usually humans, they are family-oriented. True. In tribes composing of large family units. Very nice. Humanoids, usually humans, that have been gifted with a fraction of angelic power. Most Aasimar are good-natured and end up pursuing political careers that allow them to do the most good for the most people. Humanoids, usually humans, that have been cursed with a fraction of demonic influence. Different words, you know. Most tieflings are chaotic in nature and end up pursuing lives of crime due to their innate dislike of ordered living. Strong and aggressive, orcs are extremely valued in the armed forces of all nations. Unfortunately, they struggle to live in the civilian world as they have an innate propensity for bellical behavior. Bellico means warlike, I think. Is the word obsolete? What's a fucking... Let me see. Warlike synonyms. Aggressive, belligerent, warmongering, warring, bellicose. Is that the thing I want? Yeah. Bellicose behavior. Alright, so we've got all of the... Yeah, we've got all of the... We've got all of the player races right here. There you go. Let me just organize this. Nice and good. Oh. There you go. And there you go. Very nice. And now let's talk about the magic in this setting. We could probably close this. Magical creatures. I think we should keep metallic and chromatic dragons. I think those are interesting. We might change our minds about this, but we'll leave that for later. Now, magic. Ooh, magic. All right. So, magic in the modern day is heavily regulated for its destructive power. Most people are incapable of casting so much as a spark, but anyone who is found to be gifted with the ability to learn magic, or even more impressively, having innate magical power, is immediately enrolled in one of many schools and academies dedicated to the study and development of magic. Hedge mages, rogue mages, are considered extremely dangerous, and MSWAT. Let me see what SWAT actually means, because I'm pretty sure I know, but yeah. Magic, special weapons, and tactics is trained and ready to handle any and all belligerent uses of magic, so as to avoid its use in endangering the public. You got to think about this stuff. It's important to think about stuff like that, because in the modern day, a lot of stuff is very heavily regulated. And if you don't consider stuff like that, your modern day setting kind of falls apart. And if you have creatures like dragons and elves that live fucking hundreds, if not thousands of years, ruling over things, the laws that they create are going to appear very authoritarian in the eyes of people that, you know, don't live for as long, right? I'm gonna update the stream title, because we are specifically talking about D&D, and I feel like we should talking about D&D for a bit, then finishing Winter's Hall. All right, so that's it for magic and spell... Actually, no. Magical items are equally regulated. However, there is a very vibrant black market for magical weapons and armor, as well as less, what's a good word? What's a good word for this? As well as less dangerous versions, as well as less dangerous magical artifacts for common use. What else? I feel like we shouldn't use MSWAT. I feel like there should be a federal organization that investigates magic. Maybe an international organization. Kind of like Interpol, but Interpol is international police. And they basically just work together with local police to arrest international criminals. There are international organizations dedicated to capturing and to neutralizing and capturing anyone caught making unlawful use, anyone engaging in the unlawful use of magic so as to avoid endangering the public. Yes. International Arcane Organization. I like that. I like that. And the IAO, International Arcane Organization. Let's go IOA. IOA. The of the is silent. The IOA, International Organization of the Arcane, is dedicated to neutralizing and capturing anyone engaging in the unlawful use of magic so as to avoid endangering the public. Magical items are equally regulated, however, there is a vibrant black market for magical weapons and armor, as well as less dangerous magical artifacts for common use. Alright, so that's the magic and the spellcasting. As for magical creatures, woo. So we've got dragons. Metallic dragons. Okay. Metallic dragons are known for their wisdom, and many enjoy positions of great power and wealth in the modern world. Almost all. How about something for the Divine too? I know it's magic too, but it's somewhat different. That's a good point. We'll add that as well, yes. Almost all billionaires in the world are either of draconic or elven descent. And more and more I kind of don't want to use metallic and chromatic dragons. When a dragon is angered, however, its power is awesome to behold. With entire cities being engulfed in the flames of their wrath. I think we're gonna add some Dragon Wars to this setting. Divine magic is also highly regulated for its connection to the many gods of the beyond. With religion having been proven true by its by virtue of its existence, with many religions having been proven factual by its existence, there are more than a few religions dedicated to the worship of evil. Such religions must be curbed for the good of all. And so, Bongo Cat? The fuck is Bongo Cat? And for that reason, it is important to ensure such religion must be curbed for the good of all. Oh, as if they are allowed to. It's not even a gay man. Prosper, their followers might attain enough power to endanger countless innocents. Magic is dangerous, it must be monitored. It's literally an overlay. Okay. So, now, we've got dragons. I think we should add demons. Demons are creatures born from the congealed evil of humanity. Their one purpose: to Noob Tales with the Prime, bro. I appreciate it greatly. You are the best. Enjoy that level up. What are you putting your points into? Better not be Dex. Better put those points into strength. Gotta get them gains. I appreciate the Prime greatly. Their one purpose: to corrupt and destroy humanity. Humanity, yeah. I think in this case, humanity should refer to humanoids, not just humans. So, yeah, let's go with that. We should also have devils. Fallen angels, their duty corrupted. Devils believe in law above all else. I feel like having them as masters of the underworld, black market, and shiz would be very applicable. Exactly, right? They're all into corruption. Very, very good idea. Demons rule over the seedy underworld of the many cities underworld of the underbelly of the modern world. Whether in person or through proxies, be they cultists or possessed victims. Because it's not always somebody who wants to be there. Sometimes it's somebody who is You know, they're against their will, but they have no way out. Devils believe in law above all else, especially if it can benefit them. They offer contracts to mortals in exchange. They offer contracts to mortals that grant great gift. They offer to grant great gifts to mortals in exchange for their eternal souls. And while many mortals fail to realize the implication of such a contract due to their limited lifespans, many of the more long-lived races dedicate themselves. No. I feel like there should... the IOA... Yeah, let's go with the IOA. The IOA has a department dedicated to seeking out and terminating such dealings wherever they can. Yeah, I feel like the IOA is going to be a very powerful organization in general. Like, if you've got an organization where all of the, you know, archmages of your setting are working at, then, yeah, that organization is going to be fucking powerful. Especially in a world where magic, both arcane and divine, is very regulated. So, angels are creatures born from concentrated good. The concentrated potential for good. A concentration of humanity's potential for good. Yes. Demons are congealed evil, whereas angels are concentrated good. It's important to use different words to describe different things that are the same, but different, right? Evil, you want to use words like congealed. It makes you think of blood. It makes you think of sludge. It makes you think of something that's dirty. Whereas concentrated makes you think of something almost pure. Something that, you know, almost like shines, you know? Concentrated versus congealed. It's important to use different words for stuff like this, especially if you are building your own world when you're presenting this sort of thing to your players. So, angels are creatures born from a concentration of humanity's potential for good. Their one purpose: to protect and shelter those who cannot protect themselves. Angels are known to appear during moments of great necessity, though never to settle matters between two mortals in opposition. If an angel appears, it is because some greater concern is at hand. So they're going to appear whether it be because a demon is fucking with something really big. Like, they're not going to appear and prevent a demon from fucking with, like, a random mortal family, but they will appear if that demon is, like, trying to take over a country, right? It's all about scale. There's not that... angels try to, like, allow humans to actually solve things by their own hand. So, we've got angels, we've got demons, we've got devils, we've got dragons. We need Fey spirits, because if we don't have Fey spirits, what is Tumblr going to make fanfic about? Gotta think of this shit. So, Fey creatures of all kinds are tricksters by their very nature. While they are not necessarily mean or evil, while they're not necessarily evil in nature, their chaotic tendencies tend to harm mortals as these as the... What's a good word? I don't want to use vulnerability. I don't want to use weakness. As these fragile creatures are easy prey to the infinite tricks of the immortal Fae. Let's go with endless instead of immortal. Okay, so as you see here, we spent about an hour, a little less than an hour, probably like 50 minutes, just writing down the basics, right? We've got the player races and how these races would interact. I already told you to ignore that. And how these races would interact with each other. We've got magic, and we've got magical creatures. Now, I am not going to write any more about this today, but if anybody wants me to share this, I'm going to be posting this in the Discord. So, if you would like to, make sure to join the Discord so that we can share this sort of thing and interact and, you know, share ideas for this and maybe even build up this setting together. Who knows? Maybe we'll even play it on stream one day. But that is going to be it for modern day D&D. Let me just go ahead and save this to D&D. Let me create a new folder here. Modern day D&D. There you go. New folder, and it's gonna go in there. Perfect.